Welcome back to the RF Fitness Podcast. I am Rob Finlayson, certified personal trainer, elder brother, and sweaty guy in a basement.
Nice.
Mm.
I am Rachel Hammerud, hoping there is no other sweaty guy in the basement listening to this podcast. Younger sister and certified snot-covered mom because my kid is sick.
Oh, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear it.
Yeah.
Hate that. So we wanted to do our weekly call, our weekly coaching call in here, and we want to record it because it sounds like the people want a little bit more content, and we do this stuff anyways. So why not? Why not make it content? Why not make every bit of our lives content if we can?
Precisely.
But we're going to try and keep it shorter, a little bit, maybe not less entertaining, but less intentional entertainment. So, Rachel. Super monotone. Very NPR voice. Rachel, tell me about this past week. Any successes and challenges that you might have had during the program?
Yes, Rob. Thank you for the question. Okay. Already a story.
We are off the rails instantaneously. Okay.
Eric, my husband, used to listen to radio a lot, and he tends to listen to more conservative radio, and I tend to listen to more liberal radio.
Mm-hmm.
And his radio, when he's falling asleep, and like no joke, they're like, and then I'm listening to MVR, and you're like, this light jazz for you.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, man, that really goes to show.
Us liberals love our light jazz. It's a well-known fact.
Light jazz and soft speaking.
Soft,
like, how
soft
are you gonna go to sleep when somebody's just like, do you know what the government is doing?
They're making the frogs gay. Yeah. How do you not have wonderful dreams with that angry white guy screaming in your ear at all hours?
Gay frogs.
Sounds like a wonderful dream.
Yeah, so this week was okay, I think. Okay. I'm still at it, which to me is impressive. I looked back and I realized to like find the exact date that I started, which was February 20th. So
okay.
A decent amount of time in. Definitely just keep bringing up to people, because now I'm just a lot more open with talking to people about my weight and stuff, because I say that I have a podcast. Well, what is it about? Well, that kind of brings it up. And you know, the question of like, could this really be it? Could this really be the thing that makes me lose weight? Which I know that I talked about in the first episode.
Yeah.
But it just seems so untrue. Like, because
Sure.
Yeah, I've been overweight for 33 years now, officially 33, because it was my birthday last week. Which you ditched.
Congratulations, happy birthday. Sorry, I suck.
So the week before, my daughter's birthday was on Easter, and we had some fun foods then. And then my birthday, we had the party on Saturday, and then my actual birthday was on Monday. And then Sunday I said, you know, well, what the fuck ever. It's a unhealthy hug day in between.
Sure.
Saturday and Monday. So, but I was very proud of myself for just getting right back on track.
Yeah.
And, you know, because normally I would say, well, my birthday is Monday. I'm going to eat crappy on Monday because it's my birthday. Might as well finish the week with crappy eating and then get back on it next Monday. That is old Rachel.
But now new Rachel, the rebranded Rachel said.
No, skinny bitch Rachel said, bitch, it's Tuesday. Time to get back on, which I had a good talk with my therapist about rebranding my verbiage. Saying, you know, falling off the horse, getting off the rails, blah, blah, blah. And she was saying, you know, there's a big difference between eating a Korean corn dog at the Mall of America when you're there for your daughter's birthday, and eating whatever's in sight and as much as you can late at night. Yeah, because I think those are different for obvious reasons. But just because I had that Korean corn dog didn't mean I went off the rails. It just meant I chose to have a Korean corn dog. Because also, Korean corn dogs are delicious.
I've yet to have the pleasure of stuffing one in my face.
That's racist.
I've never been to Korea or had a corn dog in my entire life, so that's a bold-faced lie. I've had many corn dogs. I'm curious. I'm sorry, on a boat. Yes, on a boat. That's another story. Deep cut for people who know us and our weird dad. So I do want to dig in a little bit. I'm curious about why the avoidance of that language in particular, falling off the rails, jumping off the horse, that kind of thing. I agree with the sentiment, but I'm just curious if there's like a particular reasoning behind it.
Because it just makes me feel like shit.
Oh, yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do things that make you feel bad about yourself. I saw this like social media post that someone had made. It was the internet is just like 5 apps right now. So it's like a screenshot of someone on Tumblr that had been put on Reddit that was then shunted onto Facebook somewhere. Someone writing about like, I had this dream last night and like Bill and Ted, like from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, were like in her dream. Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't. I know what it is.
Man, you're missing out. And she was talking to one of them, I think it was Ted, and she's like she says like, I'm talking to Ted. I'm like, I complimented his crop top and how I could never wear one because I'm self-conscious about my body. And she says that in her dream, Ted puts his hand on my shoulder and looks me in the eyes and says, "What's truly bogus is the way you talk about yourself." And then I wake up. And then someone made it into like an 8-bit art gif of like him with the word bubble. It's pretty brilliant. I think about that a lot now. What's truly bogus is the way you think about yourself. So just
or whatever.
Something to think, some wisdom to keep in mind. Speaking of truly bogus things, I mean, maybe not truly bogus things. We've been having some success and some interest in the Fitbit that you got recently, right?
Yes, I got a Fitbit for my birthday, and it has confusing results.
Okay, let's unpack that.
Yeah, so it said that I had burned, I think it was like 750 calories, like an hour and a half into waking up, which included me just like getting dressed, making coffee, and getting Linnea up and not
exercising,
doing a HIIT workout.
Yeah.
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 So I thought that was very off, and I thought, like, damn, I really hope I burned 750 calories.
I'm fucking crushing it, dude. Yeah. I'm gonna have mayonnaise on my sub today.
So I think, yeah, right. We have like 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise because it's also 3,000 calories. But I was very happy at first when I looked at it at the end of the day, because I didn't look at it throughout the day. I looked at it at the end of the day, and it said you had burned over like 3,000 calories, and I was like, "Look at me fucking go!"
Whoa!
It was like, actually, I only took a half-mile leisurely walk.
Sure.
And, groomed some dogs or whatever. I don't think I burned that much. And then, so I was reading, and then also asked you, and basically says it's bullshit, which makes me wonder why people wear these, because they're slightly uncomfortable as well.
Okay, so to answer a couple of questions here, and to pull a few of the questions out of the statement. I think the main reason people wear Fitbits is because they are branded and marketed very effectively. Full stop. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 2, why do people continue to use Fitbits if they are proven inaccurate for certain things? I think that's another question we should be asking. They're pretty good at counting steps, which is a really good indicator of general overall activity. And that activity is what we call NEAT, N-E-A-T, which I think is probably where you're getting this like really, what seems like a really like insanely high amount of calories burned. And NEAT stands for non-exercise activity threshold, which is just a fancy way of saying all the things your body does that isn't like intentionally exercising, that isn't intentionally working out. So things.
That was that graph that you sent me. I was just like,
what the fuck is this? Yes. So I sent you that graph. Neat. I sent you the neat graph. And so that includes all the things like taking a leisurely walk, standing up and making coffee, fidgeting around, like they've broken it down, like the things that your body burns the most calories every day doing is not being dead. Just staying alive is the number one use of calories. Just like literally keeping your heart beating, keeping your body moving, keeping your fucking eyes open and your brain running, keeping your lungs pumping air.
When my doctor says, "Are you staying active?" I should say, "Yes."
Yeah. I'm here, aren't I? Fucking look at me, dude.
Ever heard of science, doc?
I thought you'd heard of it. Being a doctor, air quotes. So yes, NEAT, I think, is probably why we're seeing like thousands and thousands of calories burned on a day when you don't feel like you've exerted yourself physically a whole lot. And
I wonder if my Fitbit knows that I'm also making milkies, because
I don't know.
Producing breast milk burns hella calories.
Hella calories. It probably doesn't unless you put that setting in there.
Cow.
I would say nursing probably is the verbiage they would use in the app. But you could look for cow. Look for that in the A or the C. If I assume they list activities alphabetically. But yeah, so like the BMR, the base metabolic rate, is just like how many calories your body burns, uses up every day, just keeping you alive if you were to lay in bed with your eyes open for 24 hours or for 18 hours, however long it is that you're awake. And that number is usually like between 1,200 and 2,000 calories for like the average person. Like the more, like the taller you are, or like the more weight you carry, like the more muscle you have on your bones and stuff like that. That like all of those factors like bump up that number, that base metabolic rate.
The size of your internal organs.
What?
That was on the graph that you sent me.
Oh, yes. The size of your internal organ, because you have a larger frame, generally speaking. If you have a larger heart, larger lungs, larger intestines, whatever, it takes more energy to run that stuff. You know, like it's not like there's a particular unit of fuel that your body uses for one thing or another. It's all basically, it's all calories.
By that factor.
Okay. That is a weird thing to look at without any context whatsoever. I agree. But now we have that context. So that's, I think, why we're seeing like 3,000 calories burned on a day when you didn't, quote unquote, didn't do anything. Because it's not telling you like the calories you burned above your BMR. That is an interesting number to take a look at. It's also really hard to get an accurate read on what that is from a device that you wear on your wrist. Studies that scientists have done to like pull out that data of like how many calories do you burn in a day. It's just so difficult to like actually get an accurate read on that, because sometimes you're like wearing a heart monitor strap and that's a little bit better, but other times like, oh, to get a really accurate count, we need you to like live all day in this like tub of water with tubes hooked up so it can like zap your body constantly with electricity and shit like that. Like it's like prohibitively difficult to get a truly accurate read. Yeah, it's like future, it's like ET stuff. Mm-hmm. But what's valuable is like a ballpark figure to know like kind of your BMR. So I think it would be valuable if we look at that number on days where you don't do exercise and kind of see what that is, and we average it over like so many days or whatever. And we see like, this is what your Fitbit says is your average. And we can take this with a grain of salt too, because it's not a true number of calories burned, likely.
Right.
But like we can see those numbers change, or we can average and be like, okay, we can maybe like eat around this time, or try and fuel for that sort of thing, versus especially when we start incorporating more and more exercise and intentional movement into our routines and see how that number changes. I think that would be really valuable and cool to see too.
I'm going to do some intentional movement starting on Sunday, because that's when I get my rebounder, baby.
Yeah. Look, tell me about the rebounder, please.
I'm fucking excited. I don't care.
This is your trampoline?
This is my trampoline.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm excited about it because
it's for indoors?
Yeah, it's not some big ass trampoline, it's mini. It's
okay.
4 inches.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for multiple reasons. Because Linnea has her own tiny one that was actually your kid's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we can like do it together, and
that's awesome.
She's fucking 2, so she's not like she's gonna be wearing her 2-year-old Fitbit.
Probably not.
But so yeah, we can do it together because as I would assume that going to the gym would burn more calories. It would be more effective. I can do strength, whatever. But one of the biggest reasons I want to get healthy is for my daughter. I want to show her what a healthy style looks like. I want to exercise and incorporate her as well.
Yeah.
So I love that she can also have her own little mini one and do it along with mom. I love that it is not weather permitting. I love that I can stay and do it in my house.
Yeah.
Because my husband was saying, well, you could walk, you could bike. And I'm like, right, but those would require leaving the house.
Yeah.
And I want
you can't always do that.
When she's napping, when she's asleep, whatever.
You want to do it whenever you want to do it. Not like leaving the house with a child is such a fucking production, even to literally go on a walk. Like you've used up all that energy by the time you get out the fucking door.
Yes, the walk today. I asked her if she wanted to go in her little push car or if she wanted to walk home. She said she wanted to walk home, and I said okay. And then we got about 50 feet. And we found a pine cone, and
cool.
And we were legit hunting for cones for about 45 minutes. And she was like, Mama, sit here. Mama, sit. And
like she needs you to be an audience for the cone hunting or what?
Well, because she wanted me to hold the cones for her.
Oh, you're the cone receptacle.
Yes. And then my hands would get too full, and I said, I have too many cones. I can't hold that. And then she just slap it out of my hand.
I make some room for you. Nothing but space for cones now.
Knows what she wants.
What a funny kid.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, that's going to be awesome. The fact that you guys can bounce together. Does it come with like a? This sounds old school. Does it come with like a DVD or anything like that of workouts? Like I know it's
no, it only comes with a VHS.
Wow! Oh, like a Betamax player. Oh, wow! It comes with like a peasant behind a board with puppets to do a little Punch and Judy routine.
Cassette.
A cassette tape. Well, no, is it like a fitness item specifically? Does it come with like a booklet or something? Okay, yeah.
Yes, it does. Or it is a fitness item. It comes with a bar if you want one.
Cool.
I'm like, let's start with one. But I looked up a bunch of YouTube videos of different like beginner trampoline workouts and stuff.
So. Radical, dude. I look forward to hearing more about that and seeing how that pays off for you, to see how much you like it.
Yeah, man. And it's like, the fat bitches seem to love it. A lot of fat girls on these rebounders.
Yeah.
Saying they love it. And then also it's good for lymphatic draining. Don't fully know what that means, but it drains your lymphs.
I was just about to say, I bet it drains your lymphs. Your nodes. Got to drain some nodes, bro.
And apparently it's good for like helping your pelvic floor bladder control. # mom life.
I could see that. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
A lot of reasons why I think it's a good idea.
Well, I would agree. I think this is a wise purchase on your part. We just got to make sure that we maintain interest in it. Yeah, and I think having the kid do it along with you would be pretty cool.
Right.
Can we move on to the next subject?
Yeah.
You're done with rebounder? Okay. I want to talk a little bit about we had some posts on the Insta about.
Yep, still posting on Insta,
which is great. I'm loving that. By the way, I need to shout out this horrible picture that you have posted of a man whose face is pasted on a dog's head, with like a 2-sentence description of what you ate for an entire day. Followed by LOL, enjoy this terrifying picture.
So that's a picture of my homie Andy. Shout out Andy. Yeah, Andy's a groomer and I've been working with him. I've known him for fucking 15 years or some shit. And I don't even know why I made that photo edit, but I did. I took the picture of his head and put it onto the dog that he was holding in the picture, so it looked like it was grooming a picture of himself.
Yes, it's rather upsetting.
They're putting everything with poodles now, including grown men.
My comment was, "Wow, I hate this."
Yes.
But for deeper into the week here, we had some posts that I think are very very important for us to look at. One on 4/11. Had a solid session with Missy, who it sounds like you hadn't seen in a couple of weeks. You guys had that conversation about falling off the horse, to kind of like reframing your verbiage here. We talked about a mini binge that you had the night before, immediately felt shitty and shamey after. And then on the next post, which was 4/12, shit is what I had for dinner last night. It was fucking gross because healthy food is fucking gross. I had a pretty great day. Period. End of sentence. But yeah, and then here's the end of your post. I said, but yesterday I lost a pound after having my mini binge the night before. Fucking aggravating. So can we tell me a little bit about the frustrations we're having here with like eating patterns and weight patterns?
Yeah, which when I had, the 95 times I've tried to lose weight before, I've also seen that is where I'll eat, I'll be really strict on myself and eat super healthy, get blah, blah, blah. And then the scale either stays the same or, barely goes down. And then days where I'm way more lax, or dare I even have a mini binge. And then I lose weight. I lost a fucking pound the morning after I had the mini binge, and then, which was 2 days ago. And then yesterday I ate fucking incredible, had my disgusting healthy dinner.
I'm looking at the picture that you ate, and it looks yummy, dude. There's like some broccoli, some chickpeas in there, some tomatoes.
Yeah, it's a skinny bitch thing to say.
It looks good. This is the food I eat on a regular, and I eat good.
You're a skinny bitch.
I might be a skinny bitch. I don't know. I'm learning something about myself.
There's a mom at ECFE who is a skinny bitch, and she brought donuts for snack, and like she was just like, I'm so surprised that all the jelly donuts got eaten right away. Like, I didn't even know people ate jelly donuts, and I was like, "You skinny bitch thing to say."
Dude, jelly donuts, fuck, dude, for sure. It's the best kind.
What are you talking about? Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it was mostly the texture of the chickpeas and the fact that chickpeas like don't absorb flavor. Like, rice absorbs flavor, quinoa absorbs flavor, but fucking chickpeas are like, no, bitch, I'm gonna be flavorless and a weird texture.
Chickpea. Can't rebrand a chickpea.
You fucking can't.
Unless you make it into hummus, but that's a whole other story.
Oh yeah, love hummus, but I don't know, man.
Love hummus. Anyways, frustrations about eating patterns and weight patterns.
Yeah, so ate super healthy, and I will say it was disgusting, but very filling, because I ate like a size appropriate or portion appropriate amount, and then I was like, holy fuck! Even if I wanted to eat like shit, like I am so full. So I didn't eat anything. I didn't even have a soda, nothing after like 7:30.
Nice.
And I was literally woke up this morning and I was just like, gonna get on the scale.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose some weight. What the fuck? Yeah.
Dun. Okay, so a couple of things here about this, because this is a pattern that I have seen plenty of times before with lots of other people of varying size and levels of athleticism/fitness, of skinny bitchitude. Okay, so I've been a coach for 12 years, fitness trainer, whatever, for like 12-ish years now. And I've seen this many times, and basically what my level of knowledge boils down to is, I don't know. It just happens that way sometimes.
Cool.
But big shrug, IDK, bro. What we're looking for is not a one-day result. What we're looking for is the overtime. I know is the overtime trend of where these numbers are going, okay? Sometimes we can see surprising results on the scale after a healthier day, whatever, because your body is holding on to water because it had more sodium, or you had more carbs, so your body is holding on to water that way. You can lose... overnight, you can lose like 4 pounds in just like water and sweat and stuff.
I want that every night.
Can we do that all the time? No, unfortunately, there's not a way to like game that system so that you're constantly always in that way, because it comes back, because your weight just naturally fluctuates. Your body naturally fluctuates, especially if you're in a certain couple of populations. One, people with ovaries. your weights are going to fluctuate pretty regularly on, I would imagine, a fairly predictable schedule. 2, people who are making milk with their bodies, your weight's going to fluctuate as well because of, guess what? You're putting in and taking out fluids all the fucking time, all right? So shit changes, dude. Wide view. Wide view is what we got to look at here, okay?
Sucks to be a lady.
That's what I've understood for the past 30-something years. That's been the consensus so far. How are we feeling about, overall, we're making good choices here. Are we feeling like that's a constant struggle to like make these better choices? Or do you feel like we're got a handle on things? We have the tiger by the tail and we're like barely holding on? Like, where are we at?
I would say during the day, it is becoming easier, and I think it will just continuously become easier to make these right choices and eat healthy and blah blah blah. But definitely the at night eating has always been an issue. So I think that's definitely still, which I talked to Missy about, that I will lay in bed and try to fall asleep, but my mind will be like,
yeah,
I know there are things in the kitchen that I can eat. I should get up and eat those things, but I shouldn't because I don't. So yeah, that is still very much a struggle. But I think to make healthier choices, eat at the right times. Another big thing that I used to do would be to just have coffee in the morning, fill it with my sugar oil,
sure,
and then not eat until 2:00, and then eat a fuck ton of food.
Sure.
So I think when we also talk about covering or hitting low-hanging fruit, one of them is to just like eat literally anything before noon.
Yeah.
So that's also a part of me that I'm like, fuck off my coffee, bruh.
Right. Okay. We've which is just because the last episode is a non-negotiable. Coffee stays.
Pretty much a non-negotiable. Which I talked to Garrett, our cousin, about very lightly, and he was saying like, yeah, interesting note about the coffee. Which I think we are very excited to have like different cameos on, and I definitely think we should have Garrett on.
Oh yeah.
Great of 180.
Yeah, for sure. It's a super cool guy.
I brought up before this call started that I'm the only fat cousin.
You're the only fat cousin anymore. All of us were fat at some point. Right?
No. John was never fat. Pete was never fat.
Pete's a string bean, so that doesn't really count. Okay, fine. So that's an inaccurate statement. But many of us have struggled with weight.
Yes.
Yeah. But I agree. Having Garrett on would be very cool. But you mentioned before the call a little bit something about intuitive eating. Can we talk a little bit about that? Because I'm interested in maybe leveraging this as we.
Okay, yeah. So more like very consciously eating, which I go over a lot with Mom and a lot with Missy, and the fact of like just eating what makes you feel good. And the fact that there is the difference between having the Korean corn dog that makes me feel good because we're at a special place, it's a special time, it's a special food, and I guess it would probably also be different if I had like 5 Korean corn dogs.
Yes.
Because there was 5 different kinds, so taste the rainbow, taste the Korean corn dog rainbow.
See, I barely knew there was more than one type of corn dog. But now we got subgenres?
Subgenres of corn dogs. God, Korean corn dogs slap.
You gotta try one of these Korean corn dogs.
Oh, you do? But yeah, they have them at the Asia Mall. Shout out Asia Mall.
I gotta get out there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. So yeah, I had a Korean corn dog, and I like felt zero shame about it. And I was just like, this is exciting. I want to eat a Korean corn dog. That was yummy. Yay.
Hell yeah.
Versus when I am like, oh God, it's late at night. I'm I'm starving. I want to eat a bunch before my husband gets home because it is not sexy to watch your wife eat whatever is in sight.
Sure.
And yeah, we're like 7 years into marriage, but I'd like to pretend that I'm not like fucking Shrek just shoving my face in my.
Fucking love Shrek though.
I'm shoving my face in my bog hole, not shoving my bog hole.
The bog hole, dude. Bro. I never need to hear the words bog hole ever again. But okay, so I think what we're touching on here is. Oh, I'm sorry. You mentioned bog hole. I thought you were done.
No.
Please go on.
I finish my corn dog. I'm happy. I finish my binge eating at night when I'm just eating everything in sight. Blah 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 blah. And then I'm just immediately like, God fucking damn it, me.
Yeah.
This is stupid. This was such a waste of calories and fuck.
Sure. So I feel bad after that.
Yes, that is the antithesis of feeling bad.
the antithesis of feeling good.
Yes.
Yeah. Antithesis is the opposite. Duh, everyone knows that. Because I was the antithesis of wrong when I said that. Okay, so yeah, I think
intuitive eating. A lot of people just say you should just intuitive eat to lose weight.
Right.
But I intuitively did not want to eat that disgusting fucking dinner last night.
I think, there also has to be some room for trying new things, for taking a risk.
Yes. I was just like, okay, tried this, won't make this again. But I was thinking to myself, like, I ate this like small to medium bowl of incredibly healthy, disgusting dinner, which I could easily eat 2-3 times this much if this was like chicken Alfredo.
Sure.
And probably still have room for more, 3-4 hours later, versus
this stuff
not having room because it was filled with weird textures of chickpeas.
So I think, again, looking at the picture, what I'm seeing is a dish that is filled primarily with two things as to why you probably felt extremely full. It looks like there is a lot of fiber and a lot of animal protein, because there's chicken in there too. And both of those.
Recipe didn't call for chicken.
Yeah. Well, good call putting it in there. Fiber and protein, specifically animal protein, will keep you full fucking forever, dude. Very, very long. And if we can,
what's full of fiber? The broccoli and the chickpeas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Chickpeas maybe not as much as the broccoli, but broccoli is extremely fibrous. There's also tomatoes in there, which have a little bit. But like stuff like spinach, really any vegetable has a lot of fiber in it. They're fibrous plants. That's why we are able to chew them. Excuse me, I was burping. Any type of food that has a high level of fiber in it, and high is going to be difficult to quantify, but like if a serving of your food has like more than 3 grams of dietary fiber in it, that's a pretty good high fiber food. High protein foods also is extremely valuable, especially if we're trying to look for like volumetric eating, which I think can be a really helpful thing as we lean into intuitive eating, because I think that volumetric and intuitive eating can go very well hand in hand for weight loss specifically.
Is there any foods that exist that are high protein and high fiber?
Probably some like plant-based protein, like soybeans and stuff. Probably beans. Beans, legumes are super duper high fiber, and they have for plants they have a pretty good protein profile, a very respectable amount of protein.
Aren't chickpeas legumes?
Chickpeas are, oh man, you know what? If only there was a machine that connected to.
I still feel like some of your like fitness homies are like, oh my God, Rob, listening right now.
Well, they can make their own. They can make their own fucking podcast if they want. How about that? I know you guys are listening. Eat my shorts. The chickpea or chickpea, thank you, is an annual legume of the family Fabaceae, subfamily Fabaceae. All right, probably saying this wrong. Fabaceae, bebe. So eat yourself some Fabaceae for some proteins and some fibers.
Okay.
Or find a way to eat them in a way that is enjoyable to your palate, because it sounds like this dish was not.
Yeah, interesting, because I fucking love edamame, and I do not like chickpeas. But Linnea, my kid, loves edamame too. So
lean into edamame. How did you make the chickpeas? Did you?
Mom anxiety. I'm like, what?
How did you make the chickpeas? Because I fucking love them.
They're just canned chickpeas. Then
did you roast them or anything? You just dump them in?
No, the recipe said just dump them in.
Oh, that's bullshit, bro. You gotta roast them. You gotta roast them bitches. You gotta roast them fat bays.
I did make chickpea foam for Linnea with it, dual purpose.
Ooh.
And she put her hand in and immediately started crying and said, "Ick."
That's very funny. Me and Olivia made bread from scratch on Wednesday, and it took fucking all afternoon, dude. And it was so. I've always wanted to make bread. It seems so cool, so like tied to human history. And I'm having I won't say I'm having an awesome time doing this essentially science project with the 5-year-old who needs to have her elbows deep into everything at all times. But we manage it. She needs the dough, and she helps. We do the shopping thing, and we cut into it. And it's fresh, warm bread out of the oven. One of the most every human being likes this. We made from the fruits of our labor, and she puts it in her mouth and goes, "I don't like it." It's fucking instantly maybe a gerbil-sized nibble, and I was like, "Neat." What a good use of an entire afternoon.
For fucking I remember when we went out to eat with Olivia. You weren't there, but she just happily proclaimed, "I'm a picky eater."
Yeah, that's my kid, all right.
Yep.
She'll grow out of it, I'm sure. Well, or maybe not. I don't know. Mo has very particular tastes, I think. I do not.
Fair.
I mean, look at me. But
the most average sized guy.
Just look at me, a completely medium person. Okay, so let's rein this in. Next best moves. What do you have any thoughts? If any. If we're hitting a good maintenance stride here, we can not give you new things to do every single week to avoid overload. But if there's something that feels
I think because my rebounder is coming on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good next step. Okay. And I think now that the weather is really nice, I am definitely going for more walks. The Fitbit is helping me, reminding me at staying active, remind me to burn 700 calories by walking to the coffee pot. And so I think I'm already this past week I've just started making my own goals for myself.
Yeah.
So just overall, staying more active. This weekend we're hooking up the bike trailer thing for the kid.
Oh yeah.
So I think, which I am a little nervous about. I am terrified of falling.
On a bike or just in general?
No, in general.
Okay.
I remember my ex-boyfriend was really into rollerblading, and I was just like, I know how to rollerblade, but I don't want to rollerblade.
Solid ex-boyfriend hobby, by the way, rollerblading.
For real. Shout out not to that fucker. So I remember he was just like, why don't you want to, why are you so anti-rollerblading? And I said, because I don't want to fall, because everyone, if someone sees me fall, they will laugh, and that's even more embarrassing. And there's a lot more mass hitting the ground.
Sure, that's physics, bro.
That fucking physics, bitch. That's why I'm scared of rollerblading, because physics. Yeah. But yeah, I said it is always so much funnier when a fat person falls. And he started laughing, and he was just like, well, yeah.
God. I hate that kind of humor so much. It bugs me so fucking much, the Schadenfreude thing. Where you just you can't get off unless someone else is having a bad time.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's so shitty. A shitty person laughs at things like that.
It is shitty. Yeah. But yeah. He also had the physique of a fucking gummy bear, so.
Got him.
Fuck you, Silent Mike.
Eat my shorts. The physique of a gummy bear. We don't need a podcast to turn into a Burn album. But
yeah, sorry. Yeah. So anyway, I think just staying more active and continuously logging, and I don't know. Do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, my neighbor needs to stop using that giant fucking drill outside. But yeah, as far as ideas, mostly related to I really like just like increasing activity. Let's say that increase intentional physical activity, and let's keep an eye on the Fitbit and what it says your calories are being burned on like intentional exercise days versus non. I'm sure there's a way like in the app or whatever to like track like what your thing was during the week, and I think that would be cool data to see.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely now with warm weather and a toddler, there isn't a whole lot of days where I can just sit and do fucking nothing, which goddamn sometimes I'm like, having kids are great, but who do I miss doing absolutely nothing?
Dude, that's this past 2 weeks for me, man. I love this kid, but holy shit, I don't need to spend this much time with her all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Well, yeah, because both of us, which I think should be noted, both of us are the primary parent of our children.
Right, yeah, because my wife is a teacher, so she goes and teaches all day, and I'm most of the day at home. This child being taught.
Yeah,
that,
I should say like time wise, because if Mo is present, then you do not exist.
Correct. As is right. Husbands should be neither seen nor heard. That's the joke in our house. Isn't that funny? Isn't that a funny joke?
Yeah, so we're at like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we can call this call.
Okay, I guess I'll just shut the fuck up forever.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, what are you going to say?
I think we should make a little polly thing, because maybe it'll give me more confidence or give me less confidence. That I was talking to Rob about the fact that I want this podcast to be more about just like what it's like to be fat, living as a fat. And then Rob wants to make it more training because, he's a trainer and I'm a fat. So that's kind of what we want to talk about. And I don't have a lot of fat friends. The few fat friends that I have, I'm like, yo, Fatty, will you listen to this podcast and tell me what you think?
It's weird that you don't have more overweight friends when you're like, hey, Fatty, listen to this. Listen to this podcast. Do they not react well to that or something?
What?
Do they not react well to that or something?
Yeah, I don't know. They're like, you get all weird about it.
All right, jeez.
Yeah, so I was talking to a bunch of my regular-sized friends about the fact that, I don't know how much people want to hear about me talking about being a fat, like rules of a fatty, like air fresheners and the, cupcake air fresheners. I saw cupcake chapstick and I was like, no, because then they're going to think that I just like ate so many cupcakes. It's still. But yeah, like I told Rob that I wanted to talk about dating as a fat next week, but I also don't know how much interest there is in that. One of my friend's husbands, shout out Jake, said, I think no matter what you talk about, it's going to be entertaining, which is a very sweet thing of him to say.
That's a very nice thing to say. And I think true.
Okay, fair. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I mostly worry about your super fit friends.
Don't worry, I don't have many of those. Shout out to my friends.
I just assume super fit people just like loathe overweight people.
No. Shitty people do, but they're shitty. Yeah. Shitty trainers, maybe. Shitty Instagram people. Maybe this can be as much a learning experience for you, Rachel, to uncloud your eyes from the preconceived notions you have about fit people and how we aren't just pieces of shit who look down on everyone else because they eat more. That's what it boils down.
Stop exercising. You're fat already. Stop eating that salad. You're fat already. Stop complaining about fat dating. Just date another.
This is a whole other podcast episode that we can dig into this, dude. But I will dig into this. I will leap to the defense of fit people because boy, do we need it.
The poll is: do you want to listen to me bitch about being fat?
Yes.
Or do you want to listen to us talk about neat?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. That's what the point of this podcast is. We're getting over time. The whole point, beloved younger sister, is to offer an honest, transparent, and empathetic look into the life, into the point of view that, one, people have and are experiencing, but maybe don't have an outlet to talk about that experience before, or two, who don't have that point of view, who have not experienced this and are able to be an empathetic, not shitty person and hear about this experience from someone else who is having that point of view, learn about it and say, hey, here's some interesting ways I can be a better, more complete human being and enjoy this experience and make the experience more enjoyable for other people around me. I think that's what the point of this podcast can be. I'm flailing my arms like I'm fucking Kermit the Frog right now. So much of this podcast, so much of what I do and have been doing for the past decade plus is built around like coming from a place of love and kindness. Like I want people's lives to be better. That's why I do what I do. If I did this for the money, I wouldn't do this because the money isn't super awesome, man.
Right.
Because I like helping people. That's what I want to do. I want to make people's lives easier and better through health and fitness, which includes being empathetic, hearing other points of view, exploring what it's like to be a person who is not the one that lives inside of your skull behind your eyeballs. For sure. 45 minutes and 57 seconds. Anything else, Rachel?
Yeah, but I think that should go into even more of your the end of your pitch that hit you up for training. You're a good guy.
Hit me up for training. I'm a good guy. rffitness.net. Available for one-on-ones.
The end.
Goodbye, Rachel. I love you.
Goodbye, Rob. I love you. Jesus.